But anyways, it didn't help the team yesterday played against the Niners. But they bring in Tyreek Hill. Waddle's injured. That's not great news. But they just go all in Jeff Wilson, and Tua's doing his thing, and the defense seems to be good. And now they're taking on the Niners, whose defense is supposed to be historic, one of the greatest of all time. Not only because your Mike Fred Warner is a freak show.
Dog.
Absolute freak show. And you got Bosa, whose thighs are as big as kegs. Aren't they? They're as big as kegs, this Bosa guy. He closes like a fucking... Look at this dude. Just in his you're done. It looked like that, like a lion going in for a kill right there.
Yeah.
And obviously they got that safety, young Paul Malu. They're calling his name is...
Ufonga.
He's a player.
Of course.
D'Amico Ryan's going to be head coach next year. He's defense coordinator. So what is this offense led by the Yale genius taking on the D'Amico Ryans-led Niners defense going to look like? What a game.
Yeah. It was a good game.
What a game. And it didn't go how we thought it was going to go. Tua was off. Tua was missing balls. Then Tua hit a couple. And then on the Niners side, they lose Jimmy G with an apparent broken foot, an immediate apparent broken foot with the way his Think about how small your bones are in your feet, how many of them there are. Whenever you see his foot turn sideways, that son of a bitch, you had to assume that something was going to break in there. That news was confirmed by Florio last night on NBC that he'll be out for the rest of the year.
Oh, no.
That sucks.
We were just talking 1 week ago. They win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G as the quarterback. Do they have to pay him and keep him?
Ian tweeted yesterday morning before the game that what seemed inconceivable months ago, Niners and Jimmy are both open to him coming back next year.
Yesterday morning. Big game against the Dolphins coming up. What could go wrong? Broken foot, out for the rest of the season. Goddamn shame. And in relief of Jimmy G, who's had an incredible year. Hey, Jimmy, way to go.
Way to go, James.
Hey, good mental toughness this year. Started out
Jimmy.
training camp, not even on the team. He was practicing on another field. Don't even come around, please. We don't need you interfering. This was Trey Lance's team. Anyway, we can't trade you. Turns out you had shoulder surgery. Nobody knows if you can throw the ball anymore. And we're asking for a lot because you've done a lot, Jimmy. You deserve a lot. So you're just going to back up Trey Lance, okay? Even though this team's been yours, you've done very well. We've kind of sent you away. You weren't at training camp. We need you to back up Trey Lance. Trey Lance gets hurt. Jimmy G comes in. They start winning. They start looking like the Niners team that they had looked like over the past few years in which they won a lot of games and been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then one tackle, one broken foot. Jimmy G's done for the rest of the year. What are they going to do? Trey Lance also out for the rest of the year. The man you spent a number 3 overall pick on instead of getting Mac Jones, which, who knows? Yeah. But you did spend your last pick. Mr. Irrelevant. Pick 262. 242.
57.
56.
62.
50.
250 plus.
Last pick of the draft.
Pick number 262.
262.
262. Okay. Mr. Irrelevant from Iowa State, this Cyclone. Got him dressed. Just in case. He fucking comes in and balls.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy put on a Purdy show yesterday.
Yeah.
Not only the throws he was making in that, there was a 3rd and 10, and I assume we have it on this highlight package. I did not know when. That's a great ball right there. Let's not get it twisted. That ball to McCaffrey is incredible. The red zone, there's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of space to pin that thing in there. Average throw, it looks like. Remember, this guy's Mr. Irrelevant fucking Brock Purdy playing at Iowa State just a year ago. Now he's being put into the middle of a situation. Biggest game of the day. All right, Dolphins versus Niners, big game. Biggest game, in the middle of it. Take over, how you doing? Doesn't appear to be as tall as maybe some quarterbacks that are taller, but this dude's moxie is off the charts.
Absolutely.
He stayed in the pocket on a 3rd and 10. Number 15 maybe for the Dolphins. I forget who it was.
Phillips.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
15 is 3rd and 10.
He's a mutant, too.
Yeah.
Big.
Long arms.
There he is. Boom. Big guy. Already opening up his entire arms in his face. He sticks in there and delivers a dime to George Kittle. That type of throw, staring down the barrel, that type of courage, especially in a league that he's never played. This is his guy's first snaps in the NFL.
Yeah.
He has no idea. And maybe He doesn't know what he doesn't know. But a lot of people get scared there, tuck, turn, run, miss the throw, and everybody's like, why does this offense stink? The guy's scrambling for his life. Well, also there's a chance that for another half a second you sit in there, somebody gets open, you're going to have to take a massive shot, which quarterbacks have to do in the NFL. It is no fun. It's a bad part of the job, but it certainly takes place. This dude's sitting in the pocket, fucking taking massive shots to the jaw, seemingly throwing to the right people as well, because as we're watching everything DB and we're talking to A.Q. Shipley and Coach Pagano and everything we're watching and learning, like against certain coverages, there's obviously holes. For him to know where those holes are going to be just by looking at it pre-snap is a level of football IQ that I don't think any of us could have expected from fucking Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah. I know Shanahan's offense is incredible, which makes it even more impressive that the guy's learned the entire offense being a backup as Mr. Irrelevant. This is incredible, but the story of this game is Brock Purdy. Now, they signed Josh Johnson off the Denver Broncos practice squad. Josh Johnson was on that team. What if he comes and does well for San Francisco? Everybody's going to be like, the Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos had this guy on their practice squad. He's been in 13 seasons, 14 different organizations now since he was signed off the practice squad by the Niners. He will be a part of the 53-man roster for at least the next 3 weeks. That's the rules. There's also a conversation maybe about Baker Mayfield coming in. Do they need to do any of that? Brock Purdy seemed to be fucking good, AJ, didn't he? I mean, Brock Purdy seemed to be very good.
Seemed to be very good, very in control. You see him like headbutting linemen after throwing touchdowns. Like the dude is involved. He seemed like, hey, he has been preparing for a while. Hey, when I get my shot, I'm going to make the best of it. I think it was awesome to see. Now, if he can continue doing that will be very fun. That'll be a fun 49ers team to follow through the playoffs, I guess.
Well, they say we don't have any tape on this guy yet. That's why, like, Mike White will have some success, and then he won't have some success because obviously he's going through the ebbs and flows of learning the NFL, but also defenses are getting a little bit of a read. What does he like to throw? What does he not like to throw? Where does he throw these balls at? Where does he not throw these balls at? What type of pressures can we bring that will maybe distract him from making plays? That's what happens when you play more and more football. The book is out on you. That's why whenever you see sustained success by these quarterbacks, you should have even more respect for it because every defense and every defensive coordinator who are paid millions of dollars know exactly what that person's going to do, and they still have the success that they have. But for Brock Purdy, that one to Kittle, 3rd and 10, in the pocket, guy in face, throwing that thing like 3/4 around him while getting blown up. That's a big time. That's a fucking NFL throw. That honestly, that's not something you can simulate in practice ever. That's his first game stepping in there and doing that. I'm like proud of Purdy. I don't even know him. I'm like incredibly pumped for him. Mr. Irrelevant. You know how hard it's been for Mr. Irrelevant? Now, obviously, he's going to probably make the team, at least be on the practice squad because they did invest a draft pick, even though it was pick 262. He was never going to get handed shit.
No.
Brock Purdy was never going to get handed a thing ever at the Niners, at the next team he goes to, because when you're drafted pick 262, that kind of sets the expectations of how people will treat you. That's why first-rounders always get incredible opportunities, not only with the team they're drafted to, but in future operations. It's like, well, this guy was a first-rounder. He did have whatever at some point. That's always gets said. 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant, stepping in there and owning the moment on a very good fucking team. Christian McCaffrey has been a hell of a trade. I'm happy for old Purdy. But Purdy good. This guy right here, AJ.
Shanahan has something with his backups tend to step in and play well. With Nick Mullins a couple years ago.
Beathard.
Beathard, Mullins, yeah.
CJ Beathard played
early.
great.
They
Bastard.
play, and it's kind of like that. Maybe that tape thing because they do play well early, and then it feels like they kind of get figured out.
All these quarterbacks are his backups, you mean?
Yes,
I think it's different too, though.
I mean,
it's different though, Pat. Don't you think being thrust into the lineup? Oh, here we go. This is cool. Here I'm just playing on instincts a little bit, as opposed to preparing the whole week as the starter and going into the game as a starter. It's definitely a different mentality.
And we don't know Brock Purdy personally, so Purdy, don't take this personally. Okay? Bar.
Pretty please.
We do not know, Purdy, please. We do not know if now that he has felt right? Because you don't know what you don't know. First game, you go in there, guy cracking down on your face, and you're just like, I'm fucking sitting in here and taking it. Now he knows, right? He's gotten hit in the face. He has made some throws. He has a pick in his career. Now he knows, will he be able to step back out there with the same mentality, which I think he will be. I hope he will. But these are just logical questions to have when a guy who's Mr. Irrelevant, gets dropped into a fucking Super Bowl contending team and balls out like that in his first ever action.
Yeah, if there's any team that's equipped for it, it is the Niners. But it does feel like this is a zip on the ball zappy situation here.
Oh,
Give him a couple weeks. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I love zip on the ball like a son. But I'm just saying, when it comes to
Like a
backup
son.
quarterbacks, it does feel like after a few weeks it drops off a little bit. But with the Niners, he has to do, the least in comparison to everybody else because he's got all these weapons. He's got Kittle. He's got McCaffrey.
Do you remember when Jimmy G had 9 pass attempts
Exactly.
in a playoff game?
He can run it 80 times a game.
9 pass attempts. They won a playoff game by 20, I think. Just,
Not even a playoff game. NFC Championship game.
was it the answer? I thought it was the divisional run. Was it championship?
Title
against
game.
Packers, yeah.
To go to the Super Bowl.
Was it
against the Chiefs.
308 yards before contact?
Something like that. I mean, boy, did they just fucking run it down their throat. That was bad.
Hey, that's demoralizing.
Oh, and then remember
You
the
kidding
That
the
is, that is demoralizing.
Sure was.
the draft after, instead of getting run stop and help, they drafted Jordan Love
Oh, yeah.
after that.